I'm pleading ignorance here. What is cherry picking? What does it really mean? Hi, my name is Levi, and this is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive. Today's Daily Drive is brought to you by Tonquin. I love the team at Tonquin. They're great. They're perfect for that time during the day when it's really slow for me, or instead of picking up people, I can use Tonquin to go pick up car parts. It's great. Let the team at Tonquin know that Levi from Tip You in the App sent you. The Daily Drive is also sponsored by Rideshare.tax. Don't wait. Start tax planning for 2025 today. Rideshare.tax. Well, the Daily Drive is sponsored by VOOM Rideshare Insurance. Oh, okay. So this is a long-winded way of me saying I don't think I understand something. I mean, I do. I understand it, but I don't. The idea of cherry picking. So I've said this a few different times where I don't like the phrase cherry picking, but I don't articulate why I dislike it. The idea of not accepting a lot of rides, accepting only certain rides. And I agree in principle with that. What they're basically saying is don't take unprofitable trips, take profitable trips. That makes sense? I understand that. The problem is with the word cherry picking is nobody knows what exactly a profitable trip is and what an unprofitable trip is. The more important part of cherry picking is the context of time. All right, so I'm going to put together a scenario for you. Person A is the cherry picker, and that person takes only the sweetest, most profitable trips. And let's say they worked for 4 hours. They turned their app on for 4 hours and they get one profitable $100 trip. And when I say profit, that means that's what they made after expenses, right? So their profitable trip, $100 for one trip, a cherry. Perfect, right? Then you take another driver that might do 5 trips in an hour and makes $100 in 4 hours. Profitable, right? 100 profitable hours. Or $100, $25 an hour. They're equal, right? It's equal. Now, there might be differences in why you would or wouldn't take those trips, and I understand that. But one saying I'm a cherry picker, and this cherry picker says this is not cherry picking, I think. But then what blew my mind was, as I was talking to another driver about this, he was just basically saying, well, those are your cherries, which makes me think like, basically whatever strategy we choose is cherry picking. I think it comes across as like a way to say that you've got a strategy and you're right. And I think you are right. If you are a cherry picker, maybe, yeah, you are making good money. I'm not disputing whether you're making good money or not. It's a hard way to articulate. It's not clear on what a cherry is. And a cherry to you may or may not be a cherry to somebody else. So it's just an ambiguous statement. It means nothing. It means nothing. There's no real value in that statement. And it came across this way. I was on Twitter, X, and we were complaining about the promotions that came out. And my promotion was like 40 trips for $20. And it's horrible, right? And so another driver responds saying, I would never do that. I cherry pick, which I understand. I go, okay, yeah, I agree. You wouldn't do this. You would cherry pick. Okay. What do you mean by cherry picking? What is a cherry pick? And then, the response was something like location, location, location. And again, it's just not a clear answer. Again, I'm not against the idea of taking profitable trips over unprofitable trips. Of course, that makes total sense. Cherry picking is just another way of saying like my market. Cherry picking. These are terms that we drivers throw around a lot, but they don't really answer the detail of the question. The idea is like we want to share information and have like data to do that. So for here, let me give you the answer for cherry picking in my opinion. Again, nothing. Yes, take profitable trips. That's not what I'm talking about. Tell people what a profitable trip is. Give them context to what a cherry is. Some drivers might say $2 per mile. Okay, at least that's some context. Right? Or maybe they only take trips on over $25, right? They know they're going to gross $25 on the trip or whatever. I don't know what that cherry is. And then if you give other information in there that helps, what city you drive in, what times do you drive, what car do you drive, what's your objective. Then we start to have like data that we can analyze. But there's one like data that makes it super easy. How much do you profit per hour? That's the easiest way to measure data right across all platform, right across everything. Let me give you an example here, or a bigger thought. Let's say we live 80 years. And in those 80 years, we probably have, 50, give or take, years of really good earning potential. When we're younger, when we're older, we can't really earn a lot of money. But in those 50 years, we can earn a lot of money. Time, right? So 50 years or a season of our time. Like, for example, this season, we drive Uber, Lyft, or Rideshare, right? So that's a season of our life. Another time is a year. How much can I make in a year? How much can I profit in a year? A month, a week, a day, an hour. So time is the metric that spans everything. Time actually helps us compare other jobs, rideshare versus working at McDonald's. We can measure those things. Even the unit of mile, why there is some value in that, I'm not disputing that. The unit of a mile, it's still not relevant. If I told you I made $100 per mile, but I only drove 2 miles this week, the week is the measurement that matters, not how much I made per mile, but the week. Well, can $200 a week pay the bills? Maybe. Do you need that to pay the bills? Maybe. Like, the $200 in the week is the measurement, not the mile. So when it comes to cherry picking, trying to wrap this all in, I agree. I'm going to say it over and over again. Yes, take profitable trips, right? Don't take unprofitable trips. But the object is to make this amount of money in this amount of time, so you want to make $1,000 in a week. Well, if you work 2 hours to make that $1,000, that's amazing, right? If you have to work 70 hours to make that $1,000, not so much, right? So it's the unit of time. And cherry picking, kind of, again, like some of these phrases, market or whatever else we use, they don't help solve the challenge that you and me as rideshare drivers are having. And so I agree in principle, cherry pick, yes. I don't know. And it's, by the way, it's not the other driver's obligation to help other drivers. That's probably where it comes down to. They're not saying what a cherry is because they don't have to. They don't want to, maybe. I don't know. It's such a frustrating thing because it's the nerd in me. It's the compassionate thing in me. When somebody says they're cherry picking and they're making good money, and I was okay, let me understand it. And it never really manifests into something really meaningful. I get bits and pieces. I see a really profitable trip. I'm like, oh, that's really good. Well, how many of those can you do in a day? I'm sorry, I'm just rambling because it's just one of those things that I want to solve. And so maybe you can help me solve this. What is a cherry to you? And how much time, effort are you willing to put in to make those cherries? How many of those cherries can you take in a week, in a day, in an hour, or whatever? At the end of the day, how much are you netting in an hour? $10 an hour? 30? 100? I don't know. And is that worth it? So again, the people who cherry pick are going to get really upset with me. And I'm not saying don't cherry pick. Yeah. But I love you guys. I really do. Without you guys, none of this would mean anything. I enjoy the idea of being able to produce a show like this and connect with you. I'm cheering for you. Be well, be safe, go earn some good money this weekend. Bye.